Namaskar, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Ashish Dahiya, Professor and Director, Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management, Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak, Haryana. Today, we are going to discuss on the module Ecotels, that is an important topic for hotel housekeeping. At the end of the module, you will develop an understanding about concept of ecotels, green hotels. You shall be also able to learn about the ecotel certification, understand the considerations while selecting an eco-friendly site, discuss green building concept and practices, basic understanding of green housekeeping practices and practical implication of ecotel through case study of the Orchid Hotel, Mumbai. Ecotel, an interesting topic, a buzzword. Ecotels or green hotels are environmental friendly hotels that make crucial environmental improvements to their structure in order to minimize or reduce the impact on the environment. These hotels feature innovative programs for conserving natural resources, reducing waste, minimizing pollution and maximizing sustainability. Friends, traditionally these hotels were built near forests, hill stations called as eco lodges because of their location. However, nowadays many properties are designed and constructed with a concern for environment quality. Some ecotels consist of recycled or renovated buildings with upgrades to conserve energy and water, minimize waste, incorporate natural landscaping or utilize recovered building materials. Various properties support local environment efforts or groups and or offer environmental education or expeditions. Ecotel hotels can also be said as hallmark for environment sensitive hotels. They follow the 3 R's of environment, that is reduce, reuse and recycle, which are important for environment conservation. Popular ecotels in India include the Orchid Mumbai, Fun Hotels and Resorts, the Raintree Hotels Chennai and many more. There are other hotels in India which though not ecotel certified have been following eco-friendly practices. ITC Welcome Group is a great example of the same. There are different certifications when we talk about green hotels or environmental sustainability hotels. We shall talk about them in detail at the later stage. Following are the highlights that differentiate usually between an environment friendly or ecotel hotel or green hotel other than normal hotels. Ecotel hotels, as the name suggests, the meaning itself is very clear. Ecotels are hotels that have made significant environmental improvements to their structure in order to minimize their impact on the environment. Whereas, normal hotels basically provide paid accommodation to the guests, usually on a short term basis. The main aim of ecotels is to build clean environment friendly hotels along with some profit maximization and customer satisfaction. Hotels' main aim whereas is only to get maximum profit and customer satisfaction in case of general hotels. In terms of products used, ecotels mainly use products that are safer to the environment and cause minimal harm to the society and environment, whereas normal hotels prefers branded or known products in order to maintain their image and what the guest prefers to have. When we talk about waste materials, the generated waste is differentiated as dry, wet garbage and they are recycled and used properly. Usually, the waste which is generated in hotels are thrown away as a garbage and no recycling systems are adopted in case of general hotels. Friends, when we talk about construction patterns, ecotel hotels are also constructed based on eco-friendly aspects and eco norms. In case of normal hotels, the construction is based on posh looks and outside appearance. If we take about the category of effect to environment, no minimal harmful effects or environment, Ecotel always protects the ecology, whereas the normal hotels indirectly may or may not cause harm to the environment. Let us understand the mechanism that what this Ecotel certification is. As I discussed, that there are various type of certifications for hotels. We will talk in detail about them at a later stage. We concentrate on Ecotel certification now. There are 5 globes. Ecotel hotels can also be said as hallmark for environment sensitive hotels. Having an Ecotel certification states that the hotel is completely environment friendly. Any hotel applying for the certification needs to fulfill certain criteria and norms set by the authorities before they are awarded as 5 Globe certification award. The Ecotel certification is based on 5 areas of environmentalism, each of one which is designed and designated by a Globe award. These 5 areas are referred as cornerstones of environmental responsibility or simply as globes. These globes are energy conservation. This requires the existence of a formalized framework to actually reduce the energy consumption of the hotels. For instance, whether the hotel has been designed or constructed keeping in mind maximum energy conservation. Factors like minimum lighting is being used, the extent of involvement of the guests as well as the employees, etc., also makes a difference to the final score. Second aspect is water conservation. Evaluate the effective conservation of water in all departments of the hotel across levels. The extent to which water is recycled and utilized is also considered as an important factor. Again, all employees are expected to be well versed with water conservation operations of the hotel. Water is an increasingly scarce resource on the most parts of the world, and the United Nations estimates that more than half of the world population would be living in severely water stressed areas by 2032. Third important aspect is solid waste management. The hotel must effectively recycle and manage waste wherever generated. Proper systems for collection, recycling and disposal of these wastes in all departments of the hotel are must for the Ecotel certification. However, all employees of the hotel must undergo training in the basic solid waste management techniques. Then is also an important aspect to know about employee environmental education. Evaluates how involved employees in the efforts of the hotel to contribute towards the environment. The hotel should have training modules in place for employees at all levels to familiarize them with the eco-friendly initiatives of the hotel. Another interesting aspect is environmental commitment. The hotel or the lodging property must demonstrate the existence of a formalized commitment towards the preservation and enhancement of the natural environment. It must, through all operations, activities and written statements, communicates its commitment to the environment. For example, the mission statement of the hotel must mention in its environmental dedication. Additionally, every hotel should have a green team headed by a member of the top management, ensuring that all departments are working in consonance with the hotel's mission of environmental responsibility. Now, let us understand the mechanism of inspection and scoring of Ecotel certification. The inspection for each globe involve 3 levels of criteria and scoring: primary, secondary and tertiary. Hotels applying for certification must satisfy the primary criteria before an inspection is scheduled. Once it is evident that all the primary criteria have been satisfied, inspections unannounced as well as guided by the hotel staff are conducted throughout the lodging facility to determine if the environmental programs that the hotel reports to have in place are actually a part of daily operations. Each department or function area of the hotel, that is main restaurant, kitchen, banquets, front desk, front office area, executive office areas, etc., is inspected and scored individually. A percentage score is calculated for the inspection of each department, and each department must score above a certain level to be awarded the certification. If any department scores below that level, but above a minimum threshold, the tertiary criteria can boost the department score so that the hotels becomes eligible for the certification. The tertiary criteria is simply described as a bonus system. The hotel receives bonus points for environmental programs discovered in operation that are not a part of the primary criteria and are considered to the above ordinary levels for environmental responsibility. An example of a program that would earn tertiary points would be the concept of the green button in the Orchid, New Delhi. This button is a unique interactive approach that enables the guest to participate in energy conservation by increasing the temperature of his room by 2 degrees, thus conserving energy utilized for air conditioning. Based on the hotel score in each category, the lodging facility can be awarded from 0 to 5 Ecotel globes, corresponding to each of the 5 cornerstones. Hotels that are awarded 1 or more globes qualify as Ecotel certified hotels for a period of 2 years, but have to agree to re-inspections announced and unannounced at any time during the period. If a hotel falls short of achieving the certified status, the Hospitality Valuation Services (HVS) International Inspection Team prepares an action plan to set up and help the management make necessary changes and prepare for re-inspection. Let us now understand how we should go ahead for selecting an eco-friendly site. The site chosen for the building of a hotel property can greatly affect the comfort and energy efficiency of the hotel built upon it. Like, for example, a south facing plot that allows for the long sides of the building to face north south will facilitate the utilization of prevailing summer breezes for cooling during hot weather and can aid in solar energy utilizing during winters. Similarly, a hot bare site will require a greater investment in wide overhangs, shading, other devices such as pergolas and awnings and shade trees to keep this utility bills down and the comfort levels up. Following considerations can be kept in mind while choosing an eco-friendly site. You can look forward for outdoor space. The prospective building site should be examined for existing tree groupings, landforms and structures that will aid in creating pleasant, usable outdoor spaces. Off-site considerations that may affect outdoor activities or indoor living with open windows, like traffic noises, pollution odors, should be considered before selecting a site. Second important aspect is topography. It is an important part to examine the topography of the prospective site. The top of the hill may be too windy, dry and exposed to the hot sun. A valley may be too damp, wilderness and prone to flooding. The location and the type of trees in that area should be evaluated for their suitability. Then comes is disruption to the natural vegetation and drainage patterns. This is important. The plot should be ideally located on a relatively flat area with natural clearing to minimize the disruption to the natural vegetation. This would avoid erosion, discourage the growth of invasive exotic vegetation and be less expensive than massive landscaping exercises. Also, minimizing the disruption of natural drainage patterns is generally less expensive upfront and avoids the costly maintenance of elaborate artificial drainage system. Next important point is minimizing heat island effect HIE. HIE occurs when developed urban areas have significantly higher average temperature than the rural areas surrounding them. It is recommended by environmental agencies that 80% of the parking should be underground and that at least 75% of the terrace area should be insulated and coated with reflective high albedo roof paint. Now, let us understand what high albedo paint means. Albedo is a measure of reflectivity of a surface. This is a high albedo paint which refers to a paint having higher reflectivity. Thus, it will help us to have lesser degree of heat in the building. Now, there are certain green building practices. An ecotel should be a green building, also known as ecologically sustainable building. The structure should be well designed, built, renovated, operated or reused in an eco-friendly, resource efficient manner. Some of the key objectives of green buildings are protecting occupants' health, improving employee productivity, efficient use of water, energy and other resources, minimalistic impact on the environment. Hence, green building can be defined as any building that is sited, designed, constructed, operated and maintained for the health and well-being of occupants, while minimizing its impact on the environment. Patch, a case study on the Orchid Mumbai, India's eco pioneer. To determine the study of Ecotel concept, we have taken a case study which will show how the Ecotel concept not only benefits the owner and guest, but also provides friendly environment for coming generations. A Mumbai based hotel in India called as the Orchid, launched in 1997, is considered to be Asia's first Ecotel hotel, a prestigious hotel or leading landmark in the city centre of Mumbai. Has gained international importance due to its pioneering efforts in the eco-friendly sphere. The mission statement of the Orchid clearly states its core values in accepting responsibility for living in close harmony with the society and environment. In addition to this, Orchid Ecotel Hotel received ISO 14001 Environment Management System certification for the implementation of eco-friendly practices. Friends, the Orchid Mumbai is a recipient of numerous international and national awards. Let us take an insight on the various practices undertaken by India's first Ecotel. Waste management. In terms of environmental practices in waste management, construction materials used at the Orchid Mumbai have a high proportion of recycled content. To elaborate, the cement has 15% of fly ash, concrete has approximately 60% of fly ash, internal panels are made from fertilizer waste, medium density fibers, wood comes from the cotton stalks, waste is segregated in all the kitchen, 4 separate color coded bins are used for separating the waste into dry, wet, recyclable and other. A 2-bin segregation system is used not only in the hotel's common areas, but also in guest rooms. The food waste or wet waste is decomposed in the hotel premises through vermiculture, that is cultivation of earthworms in order to use them to convert organic waste into fertilizer. The rich and the fertile vermicompost has been serving as an excellent fertilizer for our gardens. Through the vermiculture system, they have generated more than 3,60,000 kilograms of vermicompost from approximately 40 into 5 times 0 kilograms of food waste, and that is a report of 2013. You can well imagine what must be the status now. Dry waste is given out to a recycler for recycling. All papers used has a minimum of 25% recycled content. In terms of guest room amenities, they include biodegradable herbal products and stationery made from environmental friendly material. To elaborate, even the hangers are made from sawdust, slippers from reed cloth, folders from jute, wood saver pencils, laundry baskets from cane, laundry and shopping bags from cloth. Only potted plants are used in the hotel instead of cut flowers. No carbon paper is used in the hotel as it is toxic to microbes and break down organic waste. For energy and carbon, energy efficient designs and systems have been integrated into the hotel from very foundation. The skylight, double layered domes admit maximum natural light in the atrium of the hotel, thereby reducing the extent of artificial lighting required in the lobby, corridors, rooms, restaurants. Friends, even the facade, there are depressions and protrusions in the facade play which have an important role in reducing energy consumption, since majority of walls remain under shade, thereby preventing surface radiation from entering the structure. Triple glazed windows are incorporated in the rooms consisting of 3 panes separated by 2. There are sealed spaces. These windows have the best thermal insulation properties and also assist in curtailing noise from the India's busiest domestic airport. Energy efficient lighting. The hotel uses energy efficient lighting such as CFLs and LEDs. Solar energy is properly utilized. The hotel has solar panels on its roof and the electricity is generated through these panels and is used for the rooftop. Lighting, reducing the extent of conservational costs, conventional cost based on electricity used by the hotel, intelligent control systems. Each room in the hotel has a master control panel to control the lighting and temperature of the room. The master control panel has an eco button which is when pressed increases the temperature of room by 2 degrees without affecting the guest comfort. Small efforts yield big results. It is a great example of the same. Air conditioning and refrigeration systems use CFC free refrigerants with low ozone depleting potential. By saving an average of 99,344 units of electricity per month, the Orchid Hotel prevents 2,12,596 pounds of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions going to the atmosphere each month. Water conservation. The Orchid is mindful in the fact that merely 3% of the water is available on the earth which is fresh. With the current projected water demand in the country, it is of utmost importance to conserve, utilize and manage this vital resource in a sustainable manner. In order to mitigate the negative impact on freshwater depletion due to its operation, the Orchid has adopted a threefold strategy. That is, minimize the consumption of fresh water through installed systems and system aligned practice. There are aerators. All the taps in the hotel contain special aerators, which increase the force of the water and reduce outflow, thus reducing water consumption by nearly 50% as compared to conventional ones. In terms of cisterns and flushes, there are Gabbert's concealed cisterns which have been installed to ensure that the water utilized is kept to a minimum. The concealed cistern uses only 6 liters of water per flush as opposed to 15 to 20 liters used in conventional flushes. Water treatment is also done. The Orchid also employs environmental treatment methods for water purification. Drinking water and the swimming pool is purified by a combination of ozone treatment and filtration as opposed to conventional system that uses chlorine. Ozone destroys all microorganisms and ensures proper disinfection of water. That is, the resultant water is absolutely safe, pure, fresh and healthy. When drinking water is treated with chlorine, the resultant chlorine in water is also consumed. On the other hand, the use of ozone treatment leaves no traces of toxicity in the water. The hotel also adopts linen reuse program. The hotel has a linen reuse program for the guests who stay for more than one night. It is a great practice. The standard practice of the hotel is to change the linen every day. However, a guest can opt to reuse their linen by placing this card on their bed. Guests who reuse their linen are given a certificate along with a gift. The certificate thanks the guest for participating in this program and informs them that their participation helped reduce consumption of fresh water, electricity and detergent. In garden, the plants are watered before sunrise and after sunset to avoid water loss due to evaporation. There are other practices practiced in the hotel that include hotel cars being washed by using bucket in space of direct pipes. Dishwashers are operated only when they are fully loaded and leaking taps are immediately attended to. Also, they eliminate the discharge of waste water by treating and recycling all wastewater. Treating and recycling all wastewater not only reduces freshwater intake, but also prevents the pollution of freshwater resources. The sewage treatment plant at the Orchid on the roof treats all the wastewater of the hotel with the technology of rotating biological contractors. This recycled water is reused for irrigation of the gardens. Further, the quality of wastewater is significantly better than those required by statutory norms. Hence, any water is released into the drain, it does not harm the environment since it has been treated completely. Also, they create awareness of water use amongst the employees and within the community. The Orchid's endeavor towards sustainability include instilling awareness amongst employees as well as the community at large on environment issues including water conservation and preservation. There are also education and training programs for employees. Environmental awareness amongst the team members is impressive for the hotel to sustain its commitment to the environment. Consequently, training programs and activities for team members conducted on a regular basis help the hotel to achieve the goals. The induction program for the new team members includes session from the environment officer who briefs the team of the hotel's environment commitment. The team members are also shown the documentary on cutting carbon footprints during this training program. Therefore, the team is well versed with critical issues that face the environment and are motivated to bring about change not only at the workplace, but at home. There are refresher training sessions which are also held regularly. In terms of events, the hotel conducts various events to spread awareness on environment friendly practices, educating the local community to adopt to these sustainable practices. Some of the events conducted are Nirmalya Composting Initiative, beautification of Mumbai with 18 gardens, school student visits to hotel, advanced locality management, World Environment Day on 5th of June and Earth Day celebrations on 22nd of April. The Orchid Mumbai, our top 3 tips for adopting eco-friendly practices are: 1. Understand environment and engrave sustainability in the company culture. Address the major impacts of the hotel on environment and opportunities to reduce them. Set short-term, long-term targets and review the progress. Thus, it comes to be pretty simple. To summarize, nothing is a waste in nature because nature knows how to reuse and recycle. Ecotels follow the same principle: reuse and recycle wherever possible. Popular ecotels in India include the Orchid, Fun Hotels and Resorts, the Rain Tree, and environmental practices are equally practiced by ITC Welcome Group and other hotels of India as well. There are many international bodies certifying ecotels and all require few criteria to be met for certification to be granted. The 5 most important criteria include energy conservation, water conservation, waste management, environmental commitment and employee education. This chapter discusses the 5 Globe Ecotel certification. In this session, we have also dealt about the consideration of selection of a property site and various green practices pertaining to building of a hotel. Environmental friendly housekeeping practices are also being dealt with in detail, which make any hotel sensitive to its environment. The concluding session features a case study on India's eco pioneers, the Orchid Ecotel Mumbai. It comprises of a detailed study on green practices adopted by the hotel. I am sure this session will help you in developing a better understanding about Ecotel and environmental sensitivity about hotels. Thank you.